Honor and privilege to welcome the Honorable President ICI, C. Aniket Talati Sir, to the conference. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and presence. It's indeed a pleasure and surely a motivation to all of us that we have organized this, and your presence would leave a mark upon us and will leave sweet memories, because we'll be sharing the words of wisdom here. So I request Central Council Member Purushottam Khandelwal Sir to please escort Honorable President to the dais, and I request CA Anand Jagid sir, Shri Rakshit Tandon sir to please come on the dais, please. Actually, it needs a lot of willingness to be a true leader, a lot of wisdom, a nice vision, and more than that, I think the more we are grounded to earth after being rising so high, so that is most needed, because whenever we meet Aniket sir at branch, we never feel that we are talking to president. He's so grounded and always motivates us and guides us in the best manner. So I request Central Council member CA Purushottam Khandelwal sir to welcome sir with a bouquet and also a memento as a token of love and appreciation from ICAI Ahmedabad. So we welcome you to the today conference. And now, sir, I request you to please address the August gathering. Thank you, sir.
Very good afternoon, and thank you, Abhinav Bhai, for giving me the opportunity, and my apologies to all of you for barging in. I know I was supposed to be here in the morning, and I know you are all waiting for a technical session, which is a panel discussion to be had with Tandonji and Anand Jangirji. So I'll be very brief, but this is one of the few days that one has got the opportunity to be in Ahmedabad. These days, maybe in 30 days a month, I'm in Ahmedabad only for 2 or 3 days in the entire month, and today was one of such days, and Purushottam Bhai literally pulled me and said, no, there's a national conference in Ahmedabad, so please, it will be a pleasure to be. And I said, it's always for me a matter of great pride and privilege also to interact with members in Ahmedabad. So I took the opportunity. So first, let me begin by thanking Purushottam Khandelwal ji, who is honestly the architect behind this conference, getting the approval from the Digital Accounting and Assurance Standards Board and making sure that this 2-day conference can happen. At the Institute also, let me tell you, it's been a pleasure working with Purushottam Khandelwal ji, the Central Council member from Ahmedabad. All of you have created history by sending 2 council members from Ahmedabad for the first time. And the effect is for us to see. You can see in the brochure, the new branch building is moving on in construction in full phase, and the idea is that before the end of this year, we should have a grand ICI Bhavan ready for all of you. It's also a matter of great pride that it's being built probably in one of the fastest pace in the country, and I think entire credit goes to Purushottam ji, who day in, day out is monitoring the progress of this. He also is leading a very important charge in the council in the form of chairing the CPE committee, through which the entire regulation of CPE happens. And you would have all recently seen that in terms of the CPE committee and the authority of the institute and its organs to give CPE, that was challenged. Somebody had initiated in the Competition Commission an investigation. And pleased to inform all of you that the Delhi High Court has very clearly said that CPE programs can only be organized by the institute or its organs, and is not an activity which can be outsourced to third parties. What we are now going to do this year, as you are aware, is that instead of 3 years now of CPE calendar, CPE is made annually applicable, and there is going to be certain amount of penal provisions for members who do not comply with CPE. You will all appreciate this profession's cornerstone is to remain updated and to remain relevant. And if it is not enforced, or some members feel that it is not important for them to get updated, I think for those 2, 5, 10% members, all of us have to look down, and we are all put to shame because of certain kind of attestation functions, certain reports or certain certificates, or even certain balance sheets people end up preparing. I don't want to give examples, but one has seen that even after India's implementation, certain balance sheets are still getting signed in the older format. And when you ask them, he says, oh, when this new format came, I did not know. And that kind of, I would say, lackadaisical approach is not appreciable, especially in a profession of our size. And therefore, I think very important for us that the CPE program is regulated, and therefore through the CPE committee you will now see certain restrictions and certain challenges that you will have to face if the CPE compliance is not done. Because all the challenges that were there in the form of legal hurdles for the institute's authority to implement CPE, they have been done away with the successful order of the High Court in Delhi. And also now the amended act of the Chartered Accountants Act, it gives us section 15FA, which clearly gives the council the power to issue guidelines, and very effective CPE guidelines will be issued. And I'm extremely delighted that Purushottamji is working very hard on that. And more importantly, what he's also working on, and it's important for us to share it in this audience, is on the information technology aspect of CPE. I had the opportunity when I was in the branch at the region and then finally the central level to implement technology that today, you are aware, we do not have to wait for a month for articles to get registered. In the morning you file for a 102, 103, evening you have the approval. If you have to remove an article or complete or terminate the articleship, it doesn't take more than 24 hours. Similarly, firms get incorporated in 48 hours. Membership number is given within 24 hours. On the day of the result, we are able to issue membership number. That is the kind of speed with which the institute is working in the IT. And even the technology that we've adopted in the examination process, believe me, it is par excellence. Today, papers don't travel from the exam center to Delhi and then from Delhi to the examiner. They are digitally scanned and entire digital evaluation happens. And therefore, the exams result in last year were given on 10th of January for November exams. And this year, even earlier, I cannot tell you the date because the exam committee notice is not gone, but I can only say that in the first week of July itself, results for both final and intermediate will be given. So, અને આપણે બધા ઇન્ટરની એક્ઝામ આપી છે 28 જુલાઈ 28 જાન્યુઆરીની આસપાસ રિઝલ્ટ આવતું હતું. To bring it to the first week of July is only possible because of technology. And now in the CPA committee, what they are doing is to come up with an app. Because in 2023, for members to come and sign their attendance, when the entire world is digital, when you can make payment to buy a tender coconut in Kerala for 10 rupees through UPI, to expect members to come and sign digital attendance, I think we are not living up to the times. And very soon you will see that technology will also be implemented in this process. So I must compliment Purushottam Bhai for all the wonderful work he is doing at the CPA committee and also the RBA that he is responsible for. Look at technology. I have had the opportunity in the previous 15 minutes to interact with a lot of members who have shown inclination that how as the institute we can improve the IT skills of our members. And for this, somebody mentioned Python, somebody mentioned coding, somebody said, how can we go beyond the Excel utility tools? At the institute, I have been spending a lot of time to see how technology can be embedded in every aspect of the profession. Today, we have a dedicated WhatsApp number of the institute through which I am able to send on the monthly basis the journal and the important highlights of the profession. But what is being developed on the back end of that WhatsApp tool is an AI engine, which very soon we will be launching. And when you make a payment, for example, your membership fee, as you would do in a case of an airline ticket, the ticket comes to you on your WhatsApp through Indigo or whatever airline, Make My Trip, that you book it from. Similarly, all your payments, your receipts will come to your WhatsApp number. And going forward, maybe in a couple of months, that AI engine is being tested. Any questions that you may have, how many CP hours have I completed? The AI engine will reply back and tell you this many hours have been done, this many is pending. What is my firm constitution? How many partners, how many articles registered under me? Simple questions that you ask and the AI engine will be able to reply to you. So we are trying to implement that in the new course curriculum which has been approved. And on 1st of July, when we celebrate our 75th Foundation Day, we have the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmuji. Her Excellency is going to be there at the CA Day function in Delhi, and through her hands we will launch the new course curriculum. And a very important change in the course curriculum is the ITT and advanced ITT, where currently we are teaching, I would say, slightly redundant content, but it is going to be upgraded tremendously so that SAP on a sandbox can be taught, all the ERP tools which are available, all the data analytical tools which are commonly being used, they are also available. and they are being taught to all of you, and of course to the students. And for the membership, let me tell you that through DAB, we have lot of plans to improve upon the IT skills also. There are going to be, in the few weeks to come, tie-ups that we will announce with the best technology companies in the world, so that state-of-the-art technology can be provided to members. We have already given a practice management tool to all chartered accountants. And for those of you in practice, I would highly recommend to use it. Today, more than 10,000 firms are using the practice management tool of the institute. I have firms who have come and told me that I had a subscription-based practice management tool where I used to pay, but the free tool of the institute is better than that. I have stopped the subscription and I'm using this free tool. And very shortly, we are coming up with 2 other tools. One is an audit documentation tool, and the other is an audit analytical tool. And that audit analytical tool tender is already completed. The best audit analytical tool which is available internationally, that is being brought to India and will be provided free of cost to all members in practice. So that is the kind of, I would say, focus we have on technology, because today, starting from the engagement letter to the issuance of the report and management representation letter, documentation is important. Gone are the days when you could say, I've done a good audit. A good audit cannot be demonstrated if it is not documented. Documentation is key, and in this digital era, we want that all of it should be documented, digitally available with timestamps. When you have other regulators also now which are asking for these documents, I would request with folded hands to all practitioners, we will have to change the way we have practiced all these years. We cannot continue to have the same form of audit. The AASP has last week issued a checklist on auditing standards. One of the finest documents I believe Institute has come out in the 75 years, where every single auditing standard checklist is available. And on the council meeting of 30th June, we are going to release audit work paper templates. Again, a very important step that the institute is trying. So if you are verifying cash, if you are auditing bank, if you are auditing accounts payable, if you are auditing property, plant and equipment, or fixed assets as we used to call it, what are the steps that you must do in auditing them? What is the expectation of the Companies Act? What is the requirement of CARO? What are the accounting standard requirements? What are the auditing standards requirement? And if there are any guidance notes or pronouncements of ICI, all of them will be given to you, and template is going to be given. As they say, you can only take the camel to the well. I think the institute is going to try to provide all the tools, the technology, the templates, the formats, all of it is available now. It's only upon each one of us to imbibe this and truly make our practice digital. I think Anand ji is here, Durgesh Pandey ji is here, I've interacted with them for so many years on technology. And we have seen firms in Bangalore, and not small firms, firms with 400, 300, 400 people. And if you go to their entire office, you will not find a printer. And then when I inquired further, I asked, why do you not have a printer? He said, not a printer, mere table mein drawer bhi nahi hai. Entire office, there are no drawers, no printers. Entire communication of clients, everything happens online. And we have to understand and assess today, when the government, if you talk the income tax department, has gone faceless, your notices are getting delivered online, your assessments are happening online, GST is happening online to a largest extent. How can our offices not go digital? And it is with this earnest that we are developing these IT technology tools and being made available to membership. Finally, on the DAB front, tomorrow the chairman of DAB is going to be there, but let me once again acknowledge that we are coming up with forensic accounting standards, 20 of them, with detailed implementation guides, which starts from the preface and all the way to your reporting requirements. What should be a forensic accounting and investigation? That is going to get covered. I would request for those of you who are into forensics, it is not an audit. Your opinion is not required, it is not important. It is the opinion of the bank if it has to disclose it or declare the account as fraud, or it is the opinion of the court which has to decide whether somebody has committed a criminal offense or not. We can only be experts and give a report of findings. And that report of findings is being very lucidly covered in these standards of how you must start the engagement, how the investigation has to happen, what is the importance of evidence, and then how do you report on them. So my request and urge to all of you will be that start looking at these standards, and there are exposure drafts currently open on the implementation guides of these standards. Please look at that. It is a very important process. And again, people like Anand Bhai, Durgesh Pandey and everybody from Ahmedabad and so many others from across the country have given hundreds of hours in the development of these standards. I truly believe this is going to be India's, ICI's intellectual property right. When today we go internationally in Africa or we go in Asia and we tell them that we have these detailed forensic standards, believe me, it's a very different way the entire accounting world looks at you. I had the opportunity to be in PAFA recently. There used to be a time when the president of IFAC would come and president ICI would come. Of course, IFAC president being IFAC would be received in a very different manner. But thanks to World Congress, where we could show that we are no longer the second or the third, but the largest accounting body with 4 lakh members and 8 lakh students, where we could show not just our size, but our capacity to organize programs, to have intellectual capital in the form of these standards, AQMM, SQMM, and of course these forensic standards, valuation standards, internal audit standards, that the world is starting to stand up and notice. And it is because of this impact that when I was in PAFA, attending the Africa Congress of Accountants, which was addressed by the Prime Minister of Ivory Coast, in the end of his speech he said that this Africa Congress of Accountants, where 28 accounting bodies from all over Africa attended, the Prime Minister said it would not have been possible without the support of Aniket Talati, and it's not about the name, President, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I think it's the recognition of ICI, which is truly now getting global. I was in Singapore only last week, and I mentioned this story on 12th of Feb when we had the felicitation program. Singapore was one country which was not willing to look at the MRA with ICI. Of course, with World Congress, they realized the size of MRA, the size and potential of Indian Chartered Accountants. Today, the situation is that you can get direct membership of Singapore in 6 months if you stay there without giving an exam. But what is even more important for recognition is that last week when we were there, meeting with the CEO and president of ISCA, something unimaginable happened. They said, sitting in front of us, that we are now looking to learn from ICI. And a country like Singapore, it's a developed economy, can we collaborate? And can you have your office in this building? Very shortly, you will see that the institute will have its own office, as we have 168 branches, 100 of our own buildings here. We have our own office in Dubai, and very shortly in the ISCA building itself, we will have ICI office, a permanent office for helping our members. We are also setting up a office in London, which will cater to our entire Europe. We will be setting up an office in the US, because today, as I conclude, let me tell you, the profession is not restricted only to the geographical boundaries of India. Your forensic assignments, if you become an expert, will come from Africa, from Australia, from US, from Canada. If you are in any field of bookkeeping, accounting, compliance, your market is no longer restricted only to India. It is with this intention, ladies and gentlemen, that on last month, 12th, none other than the Honorable Prime Minister chaired a small meeting with 10-15 market participants of GIFT IFSCA. And look at the vision of the Prime Minister for our profession, where IFSCA is telling us that today India is the pharmacy of the world, where we have post-COVID become not just suppliers of vaccine, but also drugs and pharmaceutical products to the world. We are today the software writers and software providers of the world. And it is the Prime Minister's vision that we must be the accounting hub of the world. And it is in this direction that all of us in the council are working to make sure that the chartered accountant, which was earlier only restricted to accounting, auditing and bookkeeping, today is multifaceted in terms of the activities that we are doing. We are valuers, we are insolvency professionals, we are forensic experts, we are doing consulting areas where we have never dwelled into. And with this intention, the ICI is also organizing these programs. In August first week, we will have the first ever insolvency conclave in Singapore, organized by the Institute, where the insolvency professional valuation experts from across the globe, including forensic experts, will be coming there. I invite you, for those of you who have an international outlook and are looking to broaden your practice and your horizon outside of India, I think it is opportunities like this that give you the professional network. These works don't come by filling a network or empanelment form. Many people ask me, "Ye kaam kahan se aata hai?" This work doesn't come by filling an empanelment form. It's a global world. You have to compete with the world. But believe in one thing which I have realized over these years, going in so many international conferences, our chartered accountants, all of you and all of us, are the best in the world in terms of quality. The only thing is that confidence in us, for us to deliver in various different geographical jurisdictions. If you are able to develop it, if Anandji can go in Middle East, in entire Europe and give technology as a service, if Durgeshji can go in so many countries, and I'm just using the names, but there are so many more of us who can give these services in so many other jurisdictions, why can't each one of us do it? I think the time of India has arrived, the time is now. Only thing is, as a profession, we have to look beyond the horizon and see that through conferences like this, we upgrade our technical skills, and of course through international networks and meets, try and become part of them and see how we can increase our practice size. I can only say at the end that the institute will always be available for you. In this year itself, we have a lot of activities planned to improve the IT framework and the IT understanding of our student and membership. And any suggestions that you have, or any expectations that you have from the institute on this front, please reach out to us. It is going to be a pleasure for us to help and assist you in developing your practice in these newer areas, because I truly believe it is now the era of technology, and who better than chartered accountants to lead from the front. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable President, sir, for sharing the initiatives and the decisions being taken at the helm of affairs at the institute level. Sir, we can truly feel that the vision which is being seen, which is by sought, is being turned into planning, and the planning are being executed in the most efficient and most effective way. Sir, see, we can also feel that you are feeling the need of the members in industry, in practice, and also the need of the students, and they are being addressed in such a way that the life of all the professionals are made easy day by day, and better opportunities are created for all of us. And sir, thank you for sharing the importance of adoption of technology, as well as this is a 2-day national conference on technology. So sir, thank you so much for your valuable time and words of wisdom. Thank you so much, sir.